everyone. Keep7 Gaming here, back with another Magic the Gathering Arena video, and today we are going to be playing my favorite archetype, Golgari Midrange, which is right now in the current meta pretty weak, and it's really tough to play. It's just not very strong right now, but it's my favorite. It's always just fun, fair games, usually long, grindy games. Well, you either get blown out or it's a long, grindy game, win or lose. It's very rare that you just have a very strong start and can beat your opponent needs a very bad start, and you need a very good start to kind of have a game that concludes in less than 5 or so minutes. It's usually big, long games of Magic that every decision you make matters, and that's kind of what I like. It's my favorite way to play. The only problem is the top end of the deck, the top end of Golgari midrange, is if it gets answered, you're pretty dead in the water. So we have Elder Gargaroth, Garuk Cursed Huntsman, and Vivian Monster's Advocate. So Elder Gargaroth is obviously going to be the biggest thing you put on the battlefield, and this is generally one of your win cons. You put this down, you stabilize the board, and then you start attacking with it. You create bodies, you gain life, draw cards. The problem is, if you're able to resolve one of these and it gets answered, there's not much that you can really do. Once your Elder Gargaroth is dead, it's going to be a long, grindy game. You're going to have to scramble to figure out answers. You're going to have to use removal and hand disruption and things like that to disrupt your opponent's game plan long enough to hopefully find another Elder Gargaroth and cast it, and if they answer it again. So it's just a long, hard game. It's very difficult, very grindy, and it's going to be harder for you than it is for them usually, because their top end is usually going to be a lot stronger, a lot more powerful than yours. Your top end is a Gargaroth, your top end is Garuk. And I have a Pelukrinos in here. He's not really your top end. He can be, but he's really just in here because Rogues is a problem. So if Rogue starts milling you, you have Pelukrinos in here, and hopefully you'll be able to, hopefully at some point you'll be able to cast him and escape him from the graveyard and have a 12/12 that you can pick off. You can pick off their little guys. But this deck folds pretty hard to Rogues. Against Gruul aggro, I've won a couple games, but usually Gruul aggro is a lot faster and a lot more aggressive. This deck is a lot slower and more reactive. So winning against Gruul means taking out their early threats or dealing with their early threats in some way, and then resolving a Gargaroth and hoping to God they don't have some sort of big follow-up, which sometimes they do. And sometimes they get the Embercleave, and sometimes they get the Great Henge, and it can be kind of frustrating. But I have won a few games against Gruul. Rogues is obviously a really tough matchup. You have Bloodchief's Thirst in here, and some easy, quick, low mana removal to get rid of some of the Rogues. But it can go either way. And then against like other mid-range decks and other like maybe Yorion piles, you might be able to come out a little bit faster. Once Yorion piles get going, it's pretty tough. What I'm saying is this deck isn't very good. You're really gonna have to use hand disruption. You're really gonna have to get a good start and hope your opponent has a bad start if you're gonna be winning games. I'd say that this has a less than 50% win rate. I am at a 55% win rate in Platinum right now, and I don't think it's going to last. It'll probably continuously just keep going down. But it's fun. I mean, it's just, you just kind of bide your time with the smaller spells. You disrupt their hand, you disrupt their game plan with removal, hand disruption. You try to ramp up to your bigger threats. We have some powerful card draw and library manipulation here with Maze-Mind Tome and Llanowar Visionary. Some powerful removal with Hagra's Mauling, Mythos of Nethroi, Agonizing Remorse, Heartless Act, and Bloodchief's Thirst. So, I don't know. It's good. It's fun. It's fair. But, fun and fair Magic in today's standard doesn't really hold up. You can't play fair Magic if you want to be winning games. But, it's not like we have Omnath still, so at least this deck is viable. It can get you to Platinum, but as far as going past Platinum, I don't see it taking you much further. As far as a sideboard, we have one Duress in case you're against. Duress I think is pretty good against rogues. If you can cast a Duress on turn one and maybe take away one of their counter spells or something, that can be pretty good. Chain Web Arachneer, obviously just a rogue killer. Eliminate, if you're playing Gruul aggro or somebody who might be starting a little bit faster than you. This is a way to take out like a Lovestruck Beast. Just cheap removal for things that need to be answered. Heartless Act. I might even swap out because we have two Heartless Act main board. I might just swap this one out for another Eliminate. In matchups where Heartless Act is bad, you just take out the Heartless Acts. You put in the Eliminates. In matchups where you just need quicker removal and a lot of it, you can just sub in two Eliminates and take out maybe two Cultivates or something. Necromentia, I think, is just really powerful hand disruption and game disruption. I don't see this card being played because it's on paper pretty bad, giving your opponent 2/2s, but in some cases, this card can be really good. In Yorion matchups, you can get rid of the Yorion. In Rogues matchups, you can get rid of Shark Typhoon if they're running that variant of Rogues. If they're running regular Rogues, you can probably go for like their Drown in the Locks. Drown in the Lock is probably one of the most powerful spells they have. So like Necromentia is actually pretty good, and I don't see it being played a lot, probably because it's not very good. But I think it works out in this deck. This deck needs a lot of help, and this can provide a lot of help, especially in matchups. If there's something you can't deal with, it can really help you. Garruk's Harbinger, just for the hexproof against black. I guess maybe I have too much, anti-rogues here, but he's obviously just a good creature to resolve against rogues. Lovestruck Beast, I have 3 copies. In a situation where you need to have a strong board presence early, he's just a great card to have. And then we have 2 copies of Extinction Event. This deck usually comes out pretty slow. You're just resolving a Scavenging Ooze, maybe a Llanowar Visionary early, and they're going to get removed by your opponent, which is fine. It's going to happen. So when they get removed and the board is empty, Extinction Event can help. If you sideboard that in against an aggressive opponent that has maybe a lot of creatures or something, Extinction Event can just help kind of clean up the board for you. So yeah, I mean that's it. That's the deck in a nutshell. It's nothing special. It's nothing to write home about, but it is really fun. I just like drawing cards, the library manipulation with Maze Mind Tome, drawing cards with Llanowar Visionary, and just being able to resolve some of these removal spells and hand disruption spells and casting big creatures. It just feels like good old Magic that you'd want to play like at a table with friends. But you're playing with strangers online who don't give a fuck about you or your feelings, who are probably going to just destroy you with a better deck than you. But hey, one thing to consider to make this better. I mean, I guess we can get into it after the game. So without further ado, let's get into some games. We'll go over kind of the deck performance and suggestions to improve it after the matches. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into some matches. Oh, and actually, quick announcement. I'm going to be doing Extra Life this year. I'll have a link in the description to my Twitch channel. You can check that out all November. I believe it's November 7th. Let me just quickly check here. Yeah, so all Saturday, so a week from tomorrow, Saturday, November 7th, I will be streaming all day and night, probably playing a lot of Magic, maybe some other games. I will also have a link in the description to my donation page. If you have some time to go, just go to the website. You can read about the charity. It's Connecticut Children's Medical Center, so all donations and proceeds will be going to that. None of it goes to me. It all goes to them. It's all for the kids. They're going to be using that money, obviously, for this facility itself, and to buy kids. There's gaming systems and stuff in the rooms. Obviously, they want to have all the newest and greatest stuff to keep the kids happy and hopefully healthy. So, if you have some time to donate, please go ahead and do that. Just check it out. You can read all the information again in the link in the description. So I'll be leaving that link, down there or over there somewhere. So please just go check it out and consider donating. Anything helps. Right now I've donated myself $50. I don't have any other people donating. I put stuff up on my Instagram. Hopefully as the date gets closer, I'll convince some of my friends to put some money down. But anything helps. So anything you want to donate would be fantastic. So yeah, without further ado, now let's get into some matches. All right. So our first opponent is going to be Dimir Sonar. I don't see a symbol for a companion, so hopefully not Yorion, and hopefully not a Luris variant of the Rogues deck. I guess we're waiting. Has he not loaded in? Okay. Okay, so a 2-lander with only black mana. I'd say that's not a keep. This is more keepable. I guess we'll drop the Heartless Act. We don't even know if it'll be good in this matchup. Okay, so we're playing Izzet. This could be tough. Izzet decks usually run... it depends on what kind of Izzet deck it is going to be. If it is the Seagate Stormcaller Embercleave deck that was popularized a couple weeks ago, it could be a difficult matchup. If it's just kind of like an aggressive spells build, that could be good for us. So I can't play Bloodchief's Thirst on their turn anyway. They haven't played anything out yet anyway. So do we just get the Scavenging Ooze out, or do we keep the Skoos in hand and hope that maybe later we have something to do? If Skoos gets... I say we hold Skoos. We have a Llanowar Visionary that will play out next turn. It will probably most likely die at some point, but we'll get the card draw value out of it anyway, and then we can play Skoos, and we can eat our own Llanowar Visionary if worst comes to worst. Alright, so now I'm thinking they've wasted 2 turns. I'm thinking either they have a bad draw like we do, or they're holding counter spells. So if they're holding counter spells, I'd rather have my Llanowar Visionary countered. So I'll just throw this down as white in the rare, chance that we draw a Mythos of Nethroi. We can return, or we can destroy permanents now. And let's just see if he lets this resolve. Okay, that's fine. We can eat that with Skoos later. So it looks like he's playing some sort of controlling, is it? So the bad news is we're playing control. Control obviously is very favored against... Ooh, black mana. So control is obviously very favored against midrange, and we are playing midrange. So this is gonna be a tough game for us. This is not gonna be easy. Let's go get some more blue mana. I think we cast the Agonizing Remorse now. Either force a counter out of their hand, or we get to pick. We get to see what they're working with, and maybe. Pick off something good. So I think he's probably deciding whether or not to counter this. Okay, so he's going for the Shark Typhoon. So this is where Necromentia, I think, is actually a pretty... Okay, so Bone Crusher Giant gets rid of our Skoos. Neutralize gets rid of our Skoos, but we can cast neutral... I think we get rid of the Bone Crusher Giant. We play out our Skoos. He can't remove it. And we can eat our own graveyard to get it out of distance of another Bone Crusher Giant. Hopefully that's not what he just drew. Knowing my luck, that is what he just drew. Yeah. Okay. So he just drew a Bone Crusher Giant. So he's a little upset, which I don't know why he would be. He's definitely in the lead here. I guess we'll lead with a Llanowar Visionary. See if he wants to counter it. He does not. Probably a good move on his part. Let's see what's on the top of our deck. Hopefully it's something good. I don't think that he has a particularly great... he doesn't have a great hand against us. I think we'll save the Bloodchief's Thirst. I'm fine taking 2 in the air from this Shark. Once that Bone Crusher Giant comes down, I think we're going to have a problem. maybe I shouldn't worry about the Bone Crusher Giant so much. He does have the Neutralize in hand, though, so if he plays out the Bone Crusher Giant, he can still counter my Blood Chief's Thirst, so maybe I should have gotten it out of my hand. Okay, so he can still counter. So yeah, I think we go for the Maze Mind Tome. We'll see if he wants to neutralize that. He doesn't. Yeah, and then I think we hold. So what do I want to do here? So what I could do is scry and then draw with the Indatha Triome. That might be a good option. Reveals their hand. I think it's a little too late for a Duress. I think we need something that impacts the board. That impacts the board. So what we could do is we could do a little bit of a fake out. We try the Blood Chief's Thirst, see if he goes for the counter, and then we play the Pelucranos to stabilize the board. Okay, so that's something else. Yeah, let's get a Scry. Let's see what's on the top. We can play the Visionary. That's not it. So we can play the Visionary out. It'll die, but it gives us another 4, you know, we save 4 life for a turn. We get it more card draw. And we might be able to get that Neutralize out of his hand. Okay, so he doesn't care about it. I wouldn't if I were him either. Let's go for another Scry. Let's see what's on the top of our library. Mythos of Nethroi. We'll take it. And then, yeah, I mean, I guess we just continue holding up the Blood Chief's Thirst. Or maybe we just try to get the Neutralize out of his hand now. I think we try to get the Neutralize out of his hand. Okay. That's something. So we can double spell next turn. If he has 2 counter spells, it's a blowout. Okay, so that's fine. Actually, fuck. Can I not do this? I didn't want to lead with this. This was a mistake. So he can go for the Neutralize here, and then we go for Pelucranos. That's not what I wanted to lead with. Whatever. So, yeah, let's see what he has. If it's another Bone Crusher Giant, this is a fucking joke. Okay, so he doesn't want to attack, so that's good. And that's bad. That's really bad. I needed something big off the top there. Shit. That's really bad. I wonder what's in his hand. Okay, I mean, that's removal. No counters, that's good. So he has to put something on the board if he wants to... That sucks.
Listen to my whisper.
Okay, that's a good choice.
Your heroics are but a dream to me.
Another Maze Mind Tome. So we're not looking good. So we're playing Grixis Control. Didn't really see that coming with the way he started. But basically, if this gets countered, the game is over. I think we are done here. So, Control. This is going to be tough. You can go Necromentia, Duress, Eliminate's good, Heartless Act is good, 2 Harbingers, Cultivate not so good. Hager's Mauling, I think, is too expensive. Pelucranos is good, but I don't think we need too many of them. I don't think Garruk is particularly great. Maybe just 2 Necromentia. And we'll just go like that. I think that's our best bet. Oh, this is unfortunate. Midrange is tough against Control. Because pretty much most of the time we're just casting 1 spell per turn. And all they need to do is hold on to some counter magic, which is probably what he's sideboarding in, is a lot more cheap counter magic, like Essence Scatter. Neutralize is a bit expensive and hard to cast for him, so if I were him, just sub out the Neutralize, sub in Essence Scatter, sub in a couple negates for when I have my Planeswalkers and stuff. That's the problem. When you play mid-range versus Control, they get to see a lot. So they know what I'm going to be doing, which kind of sucks. They see everything, and I don't want them to. So we get to cast an Agonizing Remorse. That's pretty good. Shadow's Verdict. Do I care about a Shadow's Verdict? Not particularly. Shatterskull Smashing. I guess the Neutralize, is all I really care about. I don't particularly care for much else in his hand. Shatterskull Smashing will suck eventually, but I think he's kind of desperate for land, so he might even cast it now as a land. I don't really care about Shadow's Verdict. Oh, untapped land would have been nice. So I could have gotten the Harbinger down. Another Harbinger. I mean, I guess I'll take him. This is where Shadow's Verdict does look good. So I just gotta hope he doesn't have lands, I guess. So let's see. So, I mean, he can play a red land and he can double Bonecrusher Giant our Harbinger, which I'm more than happy for him to waste his removal doing that. Thing about Garruk's Harbinger here is he's probably not fetching a creature, and if he is, it's one I probably won't be able to cast for a while. But we'll see. Okay, so he plays blue mana, and then does he just get down a Bonecrusher Giant? Because I'll trade, I guess. I don't mind trading. Okay. So he uses an extinction event. That's fine for me. Ooh. So, I think here we get rid of Bloodchief's Thirst, maybe? Or no, we get rid of Shadow's Verdict, because he can't target a Garruk's Harbinger with that. And then I guess we just gotta hope we draw into a land so we can get Gargaroth down. Very odd that we sub in 2 fucking Harbingers and both of them are drawn pretty goddamn quick. Just seeing if I have enough. He's gonna gain 4 here. Whose turn is it? Oh, it was his upkeep? Where was the little thingamabob? So, what does he do? I mean, he can put down the Shatter Skull Smashing for 3, and then double Bonecrusher Giant my Harbinger. If he uses his turn to do that, then fine. Okay, so he drew a Spike Field. So that's something. We really need land. I'll take 2. Bonecrushers suck because I'm taking the 2 every time I target them, but I gotta get off the field. Oh, man. I mean, I'll take a Duress. Fuck. Maybe I should have drawn. Okay, so he got rid of a Neutralize. That's fine. If he casts Bonecrusher Giant and then hard casts Bonecrusher Giant with his turn, I'm okay with that. Okay. He might just double Bonecrusher Giant here. Yep. Which, okay. If he wants to do that, that's fine. We'll get down our Gargi boy. Hope to God he doesn't draw removal. And then I think an untapped land into Garruk, so that we have 2 big threats that he needs to answer, would be good. That I gotta hope that this top deck isn't good for him, because last time he top decked, he got a he got a Bonecrusher Giant after casting a Bonecrusher Giant and killed my Scavenger, and it's a land. So let's look for Scooz is good. Scooz is good. A land would be better, I think, just to get the Garruk down. I'll take the Skoos, though. We'll gain 3. Heartless Act 1 to Bone Crusher Giants. We'll take 2. Fine with me. And then we'll get Skoos down. We'll eat his Bone Crusher Giant. Get Scoozy Boy up to 3-3. Let's see what he's got. I'm surprised he doesn't have Croxa. Okay. So we won. Alright, so this is the big decider. So I think what we do now is I think he's going to think, I think we put in Lovestruck Beast. Because I think he thinks we're going to probably play the same way because we won, but we're not gonna. The Duress was huge. Agonizing Remorse was huge. Eliminate is good. Heartless Act. Okay. I think we come out swinging now. We'll get rid of a Gargaroth. And maybe even, honestly, Garruk. Just too expensive. We'll keep the Vivian. We'll keep 2 Gargs. And we'll just come out swinging. We'll try to get, like, Harbingers down and Lovestruck Beasts. And play that way. Because I don't think he's going to expect the early plays. And a 5... Like, I think the Lovestruck Beast is going to be great. Because our biggest problem has honestly been the Bone Crusher Giants. Bone Crusher Giant has been kind of our bane. So I think... Oh, man. So I think a... wow. That's a lot. So I think an early Lovestruck Beast would be very, very, very cool. Man, not drawing black hurts because Necromentia would be huge on turn 3. Yep. Well, we would have lost it anyway, so there's that. If he takes Gargaroth, I'm okay. I'm fine with that. So what do we take from him? Do we take counter spells? So I'm gonna get this out of my hand. Get the Lovestruck Beast down. If he wants to use a Bone Crusher Giant to kill my 1/1, that's fine. Bloodchief's Thirst, I think, is going to not be very good. It's too expensive of removal, and we have better. So what do we get rid of? What do we get rid of? Bone Crusher Giant hurts. We're not going to be milling him, so Croxa will be tough for him to get back. Bone Crusher Giant, we have a solution with our Lovestruck Beast, so maybe it's either Shark Typhoon or Ashiok, maybe? Ashiok would be tough to deal with. I think it's Nightmare Muse, right? We'll give him a 2/2, that's fine. So he has another Croxa in hand. Maybe Croxa was the right pick, but... I don't think we need more land here. So Shadow's Verdict hurts, but... he can Bone Crush our 1/1. This isn't looking good. He picked apart our hand. I hadn't seen Croxa up to this point. I didn't know if he was running it. Turns out he is. The good thing though is if we can get one of our big boys, we'll be fine. Getting rid of counter spells, I like to see that. Yeah, let's just get rid of the 2/2 we gave him. Okay, that's something. That is not nothing. We need a land off the top. He can't get Croxa back yet. We'll block a Bone Crusher Giant. So he's got Bloodchief's Thirst for my Gargaroth, which sucks. We'll take 2. Kill that. And I guess we save the Garg. Maybe, hopefully, we draw something that he wants to kill with the Bloodchief's Thirst more than the Garg. Him getting card draw hurts my heart a lot. Okay, all he drew was that. That was not worth it. I was hoping it would be anything other than what it was. Maybe getting Gargaroth out of our hand, maybe there's an argument that can be made for that. Discard spells, but... Alright. So unless we can get that Bloodchief's Thirst out of his hand, we've lost. We were one away. That's tough. That's really tough. But hey, I mean that's mid-range versus control, right? All right. Our next opponent is MTG. We'll go on the play first. It's a lot of removal, some hand disruption. Nothing in our top end. I don't know what we're playing. I think we'll keep it. I mean, we got the guaranteed turn 2 Agonizing Remorse. We can figure out what he's playing and try to... Okay, so maybe Rogues. I'm not going to be countering anything, and I think this will do the most damage to him, just getting rid of the Thought Thief. So we can cycle if we need to. No. Wait a minute. I don't see any counters in his hand, but while he's tapped out, just don't give him the 2/2. Mythos of Nethroi can take care of that Shark Typhoon when it comes down, if and when it comes down. Heartless Act can take care of the shark that is made from the Shark Typhoon. Man. No counter, no counter, no counter. Please, no counter. Alright, fair enough. Alright, so we get to get rid of it for 1 mana. Let's go get a green. And now we wait. So Lindy Vision, so he goes to get an Agadeem's Awakening. Fair enough. If he wants to cast, okay. No, he just got it to do that. Is it worth drawing? Yeah, why not? So we can double spell here. Is it worth it, or do we just try to slam the Gargaroth? What are the odds that what he has is a counterspell? Oh, it was a Heartless Act. I saw that. I'm an idiot. That was the dumbest thing I think I've ever done. We cast a Shark Typhoon. Before he can even do anything, we'll just get rid of that. I don't care what his last card is. Wow, I should have cared what his last card was. I should have cared last time. And I'm going to care this time. Alright, so our Stews can eat up their graveyard. So they can't get anything back. It's only 3 mana, so then we'll eat some of our own graveyard. I mean, we can't get him back, so we might as well. Just do another Visionary. He gets a 2/2. Which we can kill. We can also kill that 7/7. Maybe could have attacked with both. So he has 4 cards in hand, which sucks, but we'll see if he can do anything with them. Lull Mage's Domination would be pretty rough. Hopefully that's not what he drew. It could be. Lindy Vision makes a 3/3. Didn't say please. So that sucks. We are now probably locked out of the game. Oh man, Rogues is tough. We can get Necromentia in here. That and that. Maybe some Harbingers. Skoos is good. Cultivate's a little slow. Hagra Mauling's too slow. Pelucranos is going to be good. Elder Gargaroth's going to be too slow. Garruk's going to be too slow. We need Mythos of Nethroid to take care of the Shark Typhoons. We need Necromentia to potentially take care of Shark Typhoons. Agonizing Remorse might be too slow. Alright, let's give it a shot. It's just, I feel like every time I try to play this mid-range deck, I just go up against somebody who is just fucking hyper mana efficient counter spells. Which is just a bummer. We'll see. We shall see. Like I said, Rogues really should run this over, and he didn't quite run us over here. I think he's playing the Gabriel Nassif list, so he only has a handful of creatures. He's only going to have the... He's only going to have, you know... Drown in the Loch. Literally just counterspell tribal. So we'll get rid of that. And then with Agonizing Remorse, I guess we get rid of Drown in the Loch. It's arguably one of his best spells. And he's got two Heartless Acts, which suck, but we have the Garruk's Harbinger, so he can't target it with that. We just gotta hope that we draw a green mana, and we do. Oh, I should have put the Chainweb Arachnir in here. Shit. I totally forgot about that card. Okay, so we get a Visionary. We'll put a Skoos out there because we can. I mean, if he wants to Heartless Act it, he can. But he has to do it on his turn. So now we Skoos. We eat. We'll eat the Harbinger. Attack. We're down to 5. Let's go get Gargi Boy. Call it a day. So. Woo! Wow! Alright, we got him. We got stuff he couldn't deal with. So we'll put in the Chainweb Arachnir. Maybe like Lovestruck Beast. I mean, maybe we do just go fucking... I think this is fine. We'll put in the Chainweb Arachnir. We get the Garruk Harbinger. So he probably puts Shadow's Verdict maybe, or like a Extinction Event, so we can get rid of those Garruk Harbingers, but we'll see. We did definitely pick apart his hand pretty well there with the Duress into the Agonizing Remorse. So we picked that apart pretty well, and then, you know, with Skoos resolved and everything, I think I think he saw the writing on the wall. He was stuck. I think there was still a game left to play there, but he didn't. So we'll see what happens this round. If we beat Rogues, that would be huge. That would be really, really huge. I wouldn't expect that I would be able to beat rogues with this deck. This deck, I think, gets eaten by rogues. I think we mulligan that hand. Oy vey. I guess we'll keep it. Vivian, just too expensive. This is a tough keep. Garruk's Harbinger was tough. I mean, it absolutely hosed them, but... Do I take more Tome? I mean, I guess, yeah. In a matchup where they just want to counter everything, we'll just get cards in our hand, right? I want that to get milled, but I guess it's fine in our hand. I'm hoping that maybe he has like a something to make me mill on in his... Nope, he doesn't. Oh, that sucks. I did not want to draw this. This sucks. I need that really bad. Maybe get a counterspell out of his hand or something. We'll just play out a Chain Web Arachneer. We want this in our graveyard anyway. See what he does. Heartless Act, that's fine. Wish I want that in my graveyard. Oh, you dick. Alright. That hurts, but made him use Cling to Dust. We're so far behind on land. This is probably a lost cause, but... So, do we try to play a mind game here and keep on top if we don't like it? I mean, I'll take that. I'll take removal. What you got? I think Drown in the Lock is probably like one of his best spells. Or maybe we take away Heartless Act. This is tough. Shark Typhoon. Into the Story could have been a good option. Low Mage's Domination is fine, but maybe we'll be able to pick that out later. if he wants to like lull mage my Scavenging Ooze, that's fine. He can't even use it to like do whatever. He can't even use it to eat Graveyard because he doesn't have green mana. Whoa, fuck, yes he does. But would he want to eat Graveyard is the question. Alright, so that's fine. I'd rather he use it on that. Okay, I'll take a land. Land is what we didn't have. So do we go for the big ol' Gargy boy and stabilize the board? I think so. And then next turn we can double spell Harbinger and Pelucranos if we need to. If he wants to attack, he has to remove Gargaroth. Hopefully he doesn't get a Heartless Act here. Hopefully he gets nothing he can do here, for the love of God. There are no creatures in the graveyard for him to eat. We could Pelucranos Unchained and then fight the Soaring Thought Thief. I don't even know that Soaring Thought Thief is a huge problem for us. A Llanowar Visionary. I don't think we need you right now. Another Llanowar Visionary, Jesus Christ. So maybe we go Pelucranos and then try to fight something. If he counters this, we can Llanowar Visionary. I mean, do we even care about Soaring Thought Thief? Not really, right? Skoos can grow, but he can only grow like one at a time. If we kill the Soaring Thought Thief, he eats it with Skoos, so I think we actually need to get rid of our Skoos. We still have a 4/4. I think we draw a card here. Okay, we got all 6 in. So, okay, so that sucks. You got another Solemnity Vision. So he's gonna find a way to kill our Gargaroth, I can tell you that. But the good thing is we have the Blood Chief's Thirst and we have a Garruk's Harbinger. So I don't know if maybe he's trying to go for Zareth San right now, maybe? Okay, he's not. What is he going for? Yeah, let's just get rid of it. If he wants to counter this, he can. I'm fine with him countering this because... But if we can get rid of the Thought Thief, I say we do it. Let's get a Garruk's Harbinger down. Something he can't fuck with. That's fine. With them tapped low, we'll get the other one down. I think we establish a board presence here. Just give him more things that he needs to remove. Castling would be very, very difficult. Okay. If he gets the answer to Gargaroth here, I'm actually, like, decent with that. Come on. Okay, so he had the answer to it. That's fine. I'm glad I ended up going for the 3-3. I think that's going to help us a lot in the long run. Establishing a bigger board presence, I think, was the right idea. Okay. Do I care about a 2-2? I don't. There are other things I care about more. So, see if he goes for a block. He does. We can't cast Blood Chief's Thirst on our turn anyway, so let's get down to Llanowar Visionary. Let's draw a card. It's a Heartless Act. Instant speed interaction is always good. Let's see. We have lethal on board here. He's digging around in his graveyard. I'm getting nervous. Agadeem's Awakening, Into the Story, Call the Death Dweller. What should I be expecting here? If he casts either of those, he's tapped pretty low. It's the thing about these decks, you can never count them out. With all the Into the Stories and stuff that they have, it can really, really be difficult. It can really be a slog. Okay, Skyclave Shade. Didn't expect it. We can fight it with Pelucranos, and that's not counterable. Okay, so we can fight one of them with Pelucranos, that's not counterable. And then we can try to kill the other. He's tapped pretty low. We'll have lethal if we can get rid of both. And I think we'll be able to. So he's roping us a little bit here. I don't know if he's thinking. I don't know what's going on. Brazen Borrower hurts. But what we can do... Hold on. Let's see. 5, 6, 7. We don't have lethal. So what we can do... We'll regroup Harbinger. We'll kill one. We'll go like this. And I think we hold up removal. See what he can do. A resolved Garruk's Harbinger is tough. Okay. He's at 1 life. Drowning the lock sucks. What? Brazen Borrowers can't block. And that's game, right? We did it! We beat Rogues! Oh my god! Holy fuck! Wow! Holy hell! That was... I think I've only played 2 games and we're just doing 2 games because that was probably long enough as it is. Holy shit! Whew! Damn! Alright, so after 2 pretty, one game that we got kind of run over and another game that was an absolute grind and slog, just like I said this deck plays, and we beat Rogues, and I think it was the Gabriel Nassif Rogues, because it's just, Gabriel Nassif Rogues I think just ran, or something similar to his list, but it also ran Lull Mage's Domination. I don't know if Gabriel Nassif did that, but anyway, it's like the Reed Duke, Gabriel Nassif, it's like the more control-based Rogues, where it's just the Thieves Guild Enforcer and Soaring Thought Thief are like the only creatures in the deck, and then everything else is like Low Mage's Domination, a bunch of control, removal, Shark Typhoon, and that's basically the deck. Maybe an Ashiok or something, I don't know. And so and that one is pretty good. I think that one is actually arguably almost the best version of it. It performed pretty well. Regardless, we beat it with this deck, and that says something. I don't think that our opponent I mean, if you look at it, in that last game, our opponent, I don't think particularly had a great, I don't think their draws were very great. They into the storied like 4 times, 3 or 4 times. And clearly they just didn't have what they needed to beat me. So I don't know if maybe their deck wasn't optimized. It probably wasn't expecting to play this matchup anyway. Um, so yeah, I mean, we in the long grind game we were able to kind of pull away with a win. I think subbing out a lot of our more expensive spells, subbing in more of the cheaper spells definitely helped. But in 99% of the time, I feel like that deck should really beat the living shit out of this one. But this deck is just super fun, and it's just super fair magic. Every turn, you just you attack their hand, you remove a creature, you start getting your own creatures down. You start drawing cards. Cultivate, you could probably cut. You might want to keep one in, but I'd be fine cutting this card out entirely and subbing it in for something else. Maybe Kazandu Mammoth. Maybe, I don't know. But there's something else that could probably get put in this spot, in this 3-drop spot. And then, other than that, I mean, Hagra's Mauling is a bit expensive, so you can remove that maybe. Sub in, maybe cheaper removal, your Eliminates, or another idea that I think overall would make this deck overall better is making it Abzan, just like, rather than just splashing the white just for the Mythos of Nethroi. You really splash white, you go for things like Felidar Retreat, I think would be a very powerful include. Obviously, your Elspeth Conquers Death would be a really powerful include. I just don't really know what you would change. I mean, you could probably get rid of, obviously, the Cultivate and put in, like, Felidar Retreat and maybe, like, sub out, like, Duress and some other stuff and get, like, Elspeth Conquers Death in there. I think just getting... This deck needs something big, Like, it felt so bad when I resolved a Gargaroth or when I had a Gargaroth in hand and, because of an agonizing remorse, I saw that they had something in their hand, and it was just like, I know that if I play this Gargaroth, it's going away, and then I have nothing else to do. This deck needs something that when it resolves, it generates some big value for you and can help you get a huge advantage in the game, if not win the game. And that's just not what Gargaroth does. He's a 5 mana, I enter the battlefield and do nothing, and probably get removed via Heartless Act, via this, via that. So it's just a hard card to be playing right now. It's really fun when it works, and like getting a Garruk down and Vivian, I mean, it's so rare that these cards ever, 1, resolve, 2, stick, and 3, you're able to generate any value from. With mono green and all the trample going around, the wolves don't really mean much. Vivian is really good because of, just pumping out creatures every turn and ones that can have reach. That's really good against rogues. So you might even want to just not even go Garruk. Maybe go 1 Garruk and 2 Vivian. Let's see what other Planeswalkers we got. In these colors. Let's cut down. Let's go like Ashiok, you can't because it's bleh. Vivian. I mean, maybe it would make sense, but maybe you go for like an Ugin. I mean, you'd probably be getting rid of your own board anyway, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. Pelucranos is good, but Pelucranos is tough because even if he gets milled, he's expensive to bring back. So let's see if there's, like, I was thinking you could do, like, Woe Strider, but Woe Strider only really has synergy with Garruk. So I don't really think that Woe Strider is particularly the best card to be playing. Or, not Woe Strider. What am I looking for? Escape. Well, here, let's reset. Escape. I guess if you splash white, you can get Sentinel's Eyes in there as cheap, escape cards. You can play Cling to Dust in the sideboard is probably a really good idea. I like Necromentia, but it might just be too slow. Garruk's Harbinger was huge against rogues, and especially the control rogues. Farika's Spawn, that's an idea, but I don't think Farika's Spawn is very good because its escape is so expensive. I really want cheaper. I guess Chainweb Arachnir is kind of your good escape card. You can sub that in. You can sub in Chain Web Arachneer for Pelucranos. The problem with 3 is, as you saw, I drew it. It just sucks when you draw it and then they just let it resolve because they don't care. So maybe one less extinction event, another Harbinger, because he was very good against rogues. This is just anti-rogues tech here. Harbinger and Arachneer. Necromentia. Do we just go down to 2 Necromentia and then put something else in here? Necromentia is good in the control matchup. I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, if you do splash white, Elspeth Conquers Death, Sentinel's Eyes, maybe even like an All Seed of Life's Bounty to like protect your Garruk. I mean, it protects him for a turn and then he dies the next turn. Maybe just another. Oop, not that duress. This duress. Maybe just another duress. You get the full play set. I don't know that that's particularly great, but we'll just leave it there for now because I don't really know what else I would put in here. But yeah, it's fun. You saw. It's just a grind. You kind of either play out your hand and you get kind of a little run over and there's not much you can do, or you're going to get some great draws off of Maze Mind Tome and Llanowar Visionary, and everything's going to kind of like curve out nicely and you'll establish a strong board presence. You'll be able to answer what you need to answer with the removal and, you know, get the hand disruption right where you need it to be and all that. But sometimes it just doesn't work out. And I think that's fun and fair Magic. It's a deck that, let's take a look, has like a 50% win rate. Standard, Golgari, Midrange. I have a 52% win rate. I'm 9 wins, 8 losses with this deck. And that's all games in Platinum. Low Platinum. I think I'm... What am I? Yeah, very low Platinum. Oh, you can't see. Boink. Very low Platinum. We're just going to hide that. Been struggling to get back up into Diamond. After Zendikar came out, now that the meta is just so diverse, there's just so much you need to account for. Back in the day, it was just, do they have a Nissa? Do they have a this? Do they have a that? And you could sideboard pretty efficiently. Now it's like, you really want to sideboard against rogues, but every now and then you get against the mid-range matchup, and there's still people playing, you know, mono green and aggro and mono red aggro, so it's just like, it's tough. And I don't have a lot of time to play, but, you know, we'll see. We only have 20 hours left in this season, but hopefully next season we'll be able to grind up and, you know, find a deck that works for us. This deck isn't it, but this is the deck I've been playing the most, which probably explains why I'm in Platinum with only 52% win rate. Yeah, it's fun. If you want to play it, it's fun, fair Magic. It's fun in the play queue. It'll get you to Platinum, but it won't get you much further. If you want to play it, I say go out there and get it. Get your Gargaroths resolved and swing away. Thanks for watching, and also remember, hopefully I'll edit it into the beginning of the video, but I am doing, if you've come this far, and you're still watching, I'm doing Extra Life. It's going to be Saturday, November 7th, 2020. If you have, you know, I'll put a link in the description to not only my Twitch channel, where you can watch me stream all day, Saturday, November 7th, and night, Saturday, November 7th, into, you know, November 8th. You know, if you want to watch me there, that's great. But then also, even if you don't want to watch me, please still check out the link in the description. It's going to be a link to my donation page. All proceeds go to the Connecticut Children's Medical Center. Please, you know, even if you're not going to watch me, please just go check that out. Read the information there. If you want to, you know, $1, $5, $10, whatever you want to give, whatever you can give would be fantastic. Again, all the money goes to the Connecticut Children's Medical Center. It's going to be used to improve the facilities and improve, you know, just overall quality of life for the kids. You know, there's video game consoles and, you know, board games, all that kind of stuff, all this kind of gaming type of stuff to keep the kids happy, to keep the kids healthy, both mentally and physically. So, you know, if you have some time to donate, that's what it will go to. It's a great cause. So click the link in the description, read, donate, please, if you can. If you can't, I understand, but, you know, it's all for a good cause and it's all for the kids. So please just check it out. At the very least, check it out. And at the very most, donate what you can, and I'll give you a high five, thumbs up. You're an awesome person. And if you don't, you're terrible. No, just kidding. But yeah, check that out. And yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching. That was a really grindy game. Hopefully it's as thrilling to watch as it was to play. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.